Why are you answering to this freaking guy? As busy as you are, an entrepreneur, your own company, you got a big match coming up against Mr. Spectacular, and you're answering to him, to Houseman?
Don't yell at me. How do I know if the James Mitchell cocaine gate cost us a TV deal? I sure hope not. I'll be very, very upset if it did. I will be extremely upset if something that dumb and that pointless and that unnecessary towards a grand business scheme cost me a long-term financially beneficial deal. I will be livid, but I don't know. We haven't been told we were getting a TV deal with the CW network. We haven't been told anything of the details other than it looks like it's on the horizon, and or I may have signed something with a network. That is
so you can confirm that Billy Corgan never told the talent that CW was locked in.
I can confirm that to the best of my knowledge, whereas I've conversed with him countless times, personally and privately, and we never confirmed it. I can confirm we've never had a meeting where it was stated that that network was the network. And I've asked other people within, I'm like, am I missing something? Because I didn't want to go out and say this happened, and it did. But they're like, never was said. I'm like, okay. Now we're in, here's the thing too. Now people are talking. That's a good thing, right? Maybe not.
So you're the world champion of the NWA. So if there's anybody who would know about a CW deal being locked in, it would be you. But somehow there's some type of lesser ranked talent in the pecking order that knows exclusively about this CW deal, that tells Houseman about it in detail about what's going on. That's what I don't understand how this guy would have all this intel that's informing Houseman about. I mean, no shade to Houseman, but at the same time, like it is a little sus to me that somehow this person would know more intel than you. So here's my thing. Either you're not telling us everything, East, and I know that we've gotten very close that you wouldn't, do that, or some other person within the company is just spewing lies and somehow has all this intel that not even the world heavyweight champion has regarding this potential CW deal. Your thoughts on that, East?
Yeah, I'll tell you this.
Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
All right. I don't pry for information. Like what I'm told, I'm told. And if I'm needed to be told more, like I can kind of figure it out. But like, I'm not going to like, well, what network is it, boss? Like we're in talks with something that looks good. Well, where's it going? I don't care. You'll tell me what I need to know, because I don't want the information to be out. I want it to be known when it needs to be known, because I've been in this industry for a long time, where a lot of people say a lot of things that they're going to do or that are going to happen, and they don't.
Right.
Don't believe anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100% confirmed. And I learned that the hard way, and I guess his talent's learning it the hard way too. Whoops, daisy. I don't think Nick interviewed one talent, or as he called him, a source. Like, you ain't deep throat, buddy. This isn't Watergate. All right, you don't like I don't want to reveal who my source is. That's fine. Keep that loser to yourself. We don't want him. But he never said anything. He just implied information based on the rumor. Not even this talent. The talent's complaint was with like being tested by the office or low morale because I didn't have 3 hours to put a 4-minute match together, or whatever heinously narcissistic nonsense they had to say. Houseman reported these rumors and speculation, though, as they were fact. Never asked me about them, so after I read his article, I went back and handled another slew of the queries he brought up to the best of my knowledge, including Pat Kenny's role, and do we need?
Why are you answering to this freaking guy? As busy as you are, an entrepreneur, your own company, you got a big match coming up against Mr. Spectacular, and you're answering to him, to Houseman?
Don't yell at me. Here's why.
Oh, guys, you got to be reprimanded, son.
No, we're going to lose the point because we're being emotional about news.
All right, I'm sorry.
If I don't go out there, no matter how low his words, no matter how heinously poorly written they may be, are going to be by hundreds of thousands of people. That if I do not combat this on the stage, we can let it slide and nobody has to think about it. They just assume it is true. Where if I point out the inaccuracies in complete detail, I'm not putting him over. I'm defending the truth. I'm defending the fact that perspectives and opinions are not things that are being reported as facts. I'm defending the company that I do thoroughly enjoy working for and leading. I'm leading that company. So if I have to slum it in the gutter with Nick Hausman online, I will do that because that is what a champion does. That is what a top guy does. He's willing to do anything he can to prove that his company is they're not in the right. I don't know who's right. There's no right or wrong here, but prove that he is behind his company and wants this place to grow, succeed, not just for himself, but for the industry, not just for the industry, but for all the talents backstage, even the low-level, whiny, malcontent cowards.
EC3, can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
You know I love you with all my heart. So, bro, I put you over every day of the freaking week. Me and Al were talking about you this morning. Chris, listen, Chris, EC3, we got to be honest here.
It is.
At the end of the day, here's the problem. We just saw Scott Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, here's the problem. Between the scrums and the pressers, who opened up the door to these people? The wrestling industry. The wrestling industry opened up come in, come to the scrum, come to the presser. We'll give you credentials. They made the wrestling business, made these people feel like they are in it and they are a part of it. So now, bro, when they spread news like this, who's really at fault, bro?
Vince, when you are averaging a 1.3 on your flagship show, your criteria and your vetting for having media come to scrums are a lot looser than what it was when you were averaging 5 to 6 million views a week.
Bro, you're inviting the people that are already watching it.
Sure, but at the same time, in their mind, they're thinking like anyone at this point, bring in all the media. I don't care how many viewers we have. We've got a 1.3 and we just spread this out.
Even if that's the case, this is what you have created. They feel like they're a part of the industry.
Yeah, and that's true. But at the same time, they're thinking in their head like we can take anybody at this point. We're trying to bring out as many lifelines as we possibly can to stay relevant because we're catering to a niche crowd. That wasn't an issue before. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to have a bunch of wrestling media outlets come in to let people know and spread it to their audience to keep them as a part of the niche crowd. And that's essentially what we're doing nowadays as far as bringing in any outlet. I mean, I've been there when I wrote for Fox Sports and Sports Illustrated. I was in a. I'm sorry, East. What'd you say?
No, you just named two very reputable outlets.
Yeah, and I wrote for Bleacher Report for 3 years too. But those outlets, when I were doing stuff with that, the vetting was a lot better and a lot bigger and a lot more tight when I was writing for those sources.
When you were writing for those people and getting invites to press conferences and all this stuff, did you show up dressed up as Scott Stein at any point? At any point. EC3, what do you think about me saying that? What do you think about that? Am I totally off base?
Oh no, you're so accurate. You're so 100% poignant. Like we didn't, but we as the industry did. And like reporting and media are just so important. Like the truth should be heard at all times, and there should be platforms for people to speak a legitimate truth. But one thing that escapes me is it in like reporting, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, you need more than one source to like confirm.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Like we're just taking opinions of people who to the media that we've allowed in the industry. It's the same thing we've done to the locker rooms. A lot of people should not be there. They're not business. What benefit as a professional to you as a talent is it for you to go to this internet writer in this mediocre article to complain and air your grievances on a company that is allowing you A, place to make a living, B, television exposure, C, experience with probably higher level vets, D, the intricacies of television wrestling, E, a very welcoming atmosphere, a place where you can go, grow, learn. Maybe it's not your final, but it's a stepping stone to where you want to be. And you have, and this is the most important part that really ticked me about this whole thing, you're not micromanaged. You are free to create yourself. It's better, trust me, because one day you'll wind up being a deaf mute, chasing a title around, hating your life. When you work really hard at something and someone else's career is completely in your hands from a creative perspective. You don't want that. What you want is inform, you want some guidance, you want some insight, but what you really want is an opportunity that you were provided and you pissed on it.
Agreed. And I'm going to bring it from the standpoint of a journalist perspective. So we have a writer, we have a wrestler, and we have a journalist on this screen right now. So 3 different perspectives when it comes to, but essentially the same perspective in 3 different forms. From a journalist perspective, and I'm not co-signing this whatsoever, but at the same time, you're having someone, we're talking about Nick Hausman at this point, and I've met Nick, I've worked with Nick before. So, I mean, nice to me. I'll say that,
Me too. He's got my number.
Yeah, of course he has your number. He passed the test. so clearly something happened for positive at that point. But if you think about it, he has his own site, right? So he's doing these things to put that's his living. Right. So he's putting himself over more than anything. His goal is to get clicks.
Right.
So because that's how he gets money, therefore that's how he makes his living. If he's not going to give me some type of, or give the viewers some type of half-butt, pseudo confirmed, through the back door type of source, because what's going to happen? People are going to talk about him. That's going to generate clicks. That's going to generate revenue. That's going to give him money because this is his living. So that's
as EC3 said, you're also effing with people's lives.
For sure.
So I don't give a crap that. Why do you think, bro, when I do Russo's brand, that's not part of what we do? Why, Chris? Because I'm not there and I don't know. And right. I know enough about the wrestling business. I'm not going to believe what somebody else freaking tells me.
And that's fair to say, Vince, but think about it. Like, again, we're talking about 1.3 at this point. AEW doing even less than that. All right. So you're going to have disgruntled people in the back that's going to give these dirt sheet writers some pseudo information because out of spite. And that's essentially what we're getting at this point now. Right. So guess what? They're going to give some pseudo information based out of spite. The dirt sheet writer is going to be like, ooh, breaking news. And they're going to portray it as real because what's going to happen? They're going to bring people to their site because guess what? That's how they get paid. That's how these sheet writers get paid.
And
they
you got
don't
no
give
morals.
a crap about anybody's livelihood.
Well, then
they don't give a crap about the CW deal. They don't give a crap about NWA's television. They give a crap about the dirt sheet website because that's how they get clicks, because that's how they get paid.
And that's why and that's why they don't give a crap, and that's why they're pieces of crap.
And that's why you have a whole show talking about that. So that's the plus of that. But that's the journalism side of it. That is the current wrestling reporting in a nutshell. We talk about Dave Meltzer all the time, and Dave Meltzer is the king of pseudo reporting. And you have people who want to be Meltzerites. And what happened is he's created this whole just kind of cult of dirt sheet writers that grab pseudo reports and they report it as true. Dave Meltzer can get away with it in many circles because he's got 40 plus years in the business. And he can just say the and someone will report it. But a lot of these kind of minions of Meltzer, what they do is they feel like they have that same mindset. Let me report something big and let me be like Meltzer one day and get the people to draw to me so I can continue to report these pseudo news stuff, draw people to my website, man. That's how it works. That's what we've created in the world of professional wrestling journalism.
Yeah, EC3's chomping at the bit. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, East.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Because I agree. Because it's about we're great minds, man. We think alike. And then I don't apologize, but I don't want to classify all media and journalism how I just classified that whole rant, because there are good people. I'm looking at and a half. But I've dealt with some wonderful people who've written great works and source information, and we're welcome to be, try to get information or try to push me or try to get inside my head. And I welcome that because I enjoy the art of the conversation. So there is great writing out there, even on a wrestling standpoint. There is great reporting. During the NWA taping, I had a writer follow me, and I had him interview a bunch of the talents that I think just have interesting stories because I want our brand to expand. And this is outside the wrestling bubble writing. And I was infatuated with this process, and then how he's, taking notes and recording, engaging people into conversations, just kind of, he's a fly on the wall 1 minute. Next thing he's in the midst of everything, kind of dictating traffic. And I was just really enthused, and I can't wait to see how that comes out because reporting is important, media is important, but most importantly, the truth is important. And those people have a right to say whatever they want. They have a right to write whatever they want. But I really just want people to see the perspective, myself and others, that what they're saying is not true. And these are the effects of it. Sure. You can't believe everything you read. You cannot believe everything you hear, because there are bad people, or there are misguided people, or there are people that are just driven to financially make money based on you're giving them your most valuable asset, your time and your attention. You're processing their words, though they may be fictitious, as reality and truth. And that is affecting your mind in a way that you're making an assumption or an objective guess about somebody's real life that is completely false. And though it may not affect you, it can affect them.